Donald Trump was on One American News Network and he was questioned about the vaccine and if he wanted to retract any of the previous remarks that he had made about the vaccine. Check out his response. It's quite amazing if I do say so myself.
It's something out there. But after now so many months of the vaccine being administered and these side effects and Americans' questions of it, do you reconsider your push for it, or what's your view now on the vaccine in general?
Well, I've taken it. I've had the booster. Many politicians, I watched a couple of politicians be interviewed, and one of the questions was, did you get the booster? Because they had the vaccine. And they're answering it like, in other words, the answer is yes, but they don't want to say it. Because they're gutless. You got to say it. Whether you had it or not, say it.
Right.
But the fact is that I think the vaccine has saved tens of millions of people throughout the world.
Okay.
I have had absolutely no side effects. I've had it like other people have had it, nothing special. I've had it.
All right, so Donald Trump is a horrendous figure. We know that. He was president for 4 years. We know how he is. We know how he operates. We know what he believes in. We know what his policies are. But I must say, in regards to this vaccine, everything I have seen him say has been pristine. And it's funny because the things that he's been saying is absolutely common sense. It's what anybody should think and say about the vaccine. I mean, it's nothing profound. It's nothing ridiculous. It's the truth. And it's things that you can gather from looking at even a modicum of evidence and having a simply open and objective mind when it comes to these vaccines and vaccinations in general. So he has been, doing a slew of interviews over the course of these past weeks or months, and he's been talking about the vaccine. And every time he talks about it, he says, yeah, the vaccine is good. You should get it. You don't have to get it. I believe in your rights. Anti-mandate, of course, but I do believe in the vaccine. And he said this in front of crowds, in front of his base. And there have been times where he's been booed for it, but he stood firm. The most recent one was he was being interviewed by Candace Owens. And Candace Owens is an anti-vacciner, or she's anti-vaxxer. And I put the emphasis around that because there's a lot of speculation. I'm going to get into that in this video of people like her and other more well-known conservatives, whether they be political commentators like she is or an actual national politician that positioned themselves to be anti-vax when they've actually gotten the vaccine and gotten the booster, which is what Donald Trump was discussing in that video that I just played for you. So he was asked by this guy, what do you think about, of course, the vaccine, but what do you think about other people, politicians, what have you, that pretend like they haven't gotten it? I don't think that was a direct question, but this is how he answered. He says, I watched a couple of politicians be interviewed, and one of the questions was, did you get the booster? Because they had the vaccine. The answer is yes, but they don't want to say it because they're gutless. Look, I think this is amazing because these other politicians, and Ron DeSantis is one of the most sarcastic examples that come to my mind, because he actually recently, I don't remember what network he was on, but he was asked, did you get your booster shot? Because it's basically assumed that all these people are vaccinated because they are. And he basically said, I did what I did, which is the usual thing that you do. And wait, what? Dude, just say you got vaccinated. But they're scared. They're afraid because they recognize that their base is, I guess you could say, largely anti-vax, their Republican base, and they don't want to lose popularity among them. So they position themselves to be anti-vax. But this is the harsh truth about it. All these like lower level conservative hacks that actually believe the anti-vaccine bullshit, a number of them have died from COVID. I mean, these are stories that have blown up online about this radio host or this commentator that have passed away from COVID-19. I want you to notice how no national politician, a Republican politician that's well-known, or any well-known Republican social media figure, like really well-known across the national stage, not locally or anything like that, has passed away from COVID-19. Doesn't that make you scratch your head a bit? Like, these people might actually be vaccinated. And the funny thing about Trump is he doesn't have to position himself to be anti-vax to please his base. Why? Because he owns them. He owns them. He owns he knows that the Republican Party is his. So he doesn't need to put himself in that position of like a Ron DeSantis or a Ted Cruz or whoever to be, we really need to question this vaccine and the side effects. Like, no, fuck it. I had the vaccine. I had the booster. You should get it. It's great. Operation Warp Speed was his thing, and he wants to be proud of it. And so he's out here boasting about the vaccine, which he should do. But you have other politicians that don't have the cachet, the influence, and the power that he has, and they seemingly has to take a different approach. And his response to them is, you're being a bitch, essentially. You're being a bitch. If you got the vaccine, then just say you had it. Don't lie. Don't come out and obfuscate and try to, dilute people to, lead them a certain way to think that maybe you didn't do the thing that you actually did. No, just say you got the vaccine if you got it and let that be that. But anyway, this is Donald Trump once again speaking truth, at the very least, about the vaccine, man. Like I said, everything he's had to say on this has been pretty good, but it's common sense and it's very normal. Like, this isn't, as I said before, it isn't anything profound, but it's good to hear.